Hello everybody. Well, if you caught my last video, it was about the headship principle. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about 1 Corinthians chapter 11, okay? The first section, which is verses 1 through 16, okay? Basically, what this deals with is this whole thing that has emerged yet again about is it proper to wear a head covering, not proper, what's the deal? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to read some of this to you, if God wills, and then I'm basically going to explain exactly what he tells me to say. So, let's get started, I guess. Follow my example as I follow the example of Christ. I praise you for remembering me in everything and for holding to the teachings or to the traditions just as I passed them on to you, which is basically the traditions, that the teachings that he gave. Um, but I want you to recognize that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is man, and the head of Christ is God. Every man who prays or prophesies with his head covered dishonors his head. Okay? But every woman who prays or prophesies with her head uncovered dishonors her head. It is the same as having her head shaved. For if a woman does not cover her head, she might as well have her hair cut off. But if it is a disgrace for a woman to have her hair cut off or her head shaved, then she should cover her head. Okay? Do you see what it's saying? Basically, guys shouldn't cover their head in the presence of God. Yet, that's what we see people doing. But that's not God's intent. If you feel that a shaved head or a lack of hair is disgraceful in the sight of God, and you're a woman, you should cover your head. Okay? If you don't, hopefully, there's enough Spirit-filled brothers that will cover you, and it'll be okay. Okay? Now, moving on. Verse 7. A man ought not to cover his head, since he is the image and the glory of God, but a woman is the glory of man. In other words, they're a helper. They're supposed to be a complement to the man. Not a servant, not a slave, but a demonstration of what humility should look like, to remind us of our head. Okay. For man did not come from woman, but woman from man. Neither was man created for woman, neither was man created from woman, but woman from man. It is for this reason that a woman ought to have authority over her own head because of her okay, because of the angels. You know what he's talking about? He's saying because of a woman not covering her hair, the angels looked upon her and saw that she was beautiful and fell from their natural positions given to them by God and rebelled. That's where we got Nephilim from. So as a sign of respect, it's up to her whether she wants to cover her head or not. That's the whole point. If she doesn't see it a problem, it shouldn't be a problem. She should be covered by her brothers in Christ. Okay? And we're in turn covered by Jesus Christ. Okay? Now, nevertheless, in the Lord, woman is not independent of man, nor is man independent of woman. For as woman came from man, so also man is born of woman. But everything comes from God. In other words, we're not independent. We're supposed to be part of a bigger whole. We're supposed to be working together, folks. Do you see that? We're not supposed to be dominating each other, but we're supposed to be helping one another. Okay? Judge for yourselves. Is it proper for a woman to pray to God with her head uncovered? Does not the very nature of things teach you that if a man has long hair, it is a disgrace to him? Oh, so men aren't supposed to have long hair. So if you want to make a big deal about, a woman having, I don't know, a head covering, maybe you should consider the fact that, maybe your hair's getting a little too long and deal with that. In any case, everything you should do, whether man or woman, should be clothed and bathed in love, in all humility, with all grace, because who extends their grace to you? Hopefully most of you said Jesus Christ. Now, but that if a woman has long hair, it is her glory, for long hair is given to her as a covering. Hey, so a woman's long hair acts as her covering. If any wants to be contentious about this, we have no other practice, nor do the churches of God. Okay? So literally, if her head's shaven and she has a problem with that, she needs to cover it. If she has long hair, that is her covering. She should be okay. She should be covered by the brothers and sisters, especially by the brothers. Okay? If she chooses out of a sign of respect and reverence because of what happened with the angels and her predecessors or women of old, and she chooses to cover her hair, that's also a good thing because it shows humility. Okay? But in all things, cover this with love, meekness, and discernment, because our head is Christ, and how we treat a woman is literally how he's going to treat us at some point. Okay? Thanks, guys.